Hey, what's up there, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer55551, and I am back with a My True Set video this week for the week of December 24th to the 29th, and of course, happy holidays and happy New Year's to everyone out there. Hopefully those who celebrated Christmas had a happy or safe Christmas, whether it's with friends or family. Same for those who may be celebrating the holiday Kwanzaa as well, and hopefully you guys are gearing up for 2024 for the new year. Hopefully if you're going someplace nice, or whether it's friends or family, hopefully you're doing it. Hopefully you're having a happy and safe New Year's and everything like that. Though I'll probably be looking forward to next year when I do more videos, including the My Two Cents, to even like others like reviews or everything like that, to be exact. But anyway, we got 4 stories to cover this week, including reports coming out that Starfield seems to be getting negative reviews, particularly on Steam. Basically a new trailer for a Fallout game, but not being made by Bethesda. This is basically a mod Fallout called Fallout London. A very interesting thing regarding the Nintendo Switch, as supposedly a hacker has made claims about this, a workaround with the whole Switch flashcard situation, and rumors about the possibility that a Mandalorian game may be in the work from id Software, which could pretty much indicate that this could be an Xbox exclusive and all. If you're interested in where I got the source of these informations, links will be in the description of this video, assuming you're watching this on YouTube. But before we get started though, I like to do what I like to call the quick My 2 cents, stories that kind of caught my attention, but I'm not going to go into a huge amount of details or anything like that. The first one has to do with, apparently there's a story going around that a German study has discovered that basically that people who play Mario Odyssey reduces their depression symptoms by supposedly around 50% or something like that. It's a very interesting study, and there have been times when video games can be used for certain things, ranging from helping people, speak and everything like that, to eye contact and coordination and everything. So, I mean, I know there's the whole violent video game issue, but there are also video games that can be very helpful and everything like that. And it's kind of interesting to hear this about with Super Mario Odyssey and all. We also saw, supposedly they showed off a commercial, at least in Japanese, of basically the upcoming expansion for the Super Nintendo world at Universal Studios in Japan. Basically this will be adding, the Donkey Kong theme and everything like that though. Obviously, they're expanding that though. It'll be very interesting to see when they bring the expansion over to the US and everything like that. And with them announcing this expansion, it does make you kind of wonder, could a Donkey Kong movie be not that far behind or everything like that? We know that given how well the Super Mario Brothers movie at box office did, making a little bit over $1 billion, there's no doubt in my mind that Nintendo or Universal would love to do either a sequel to that movie, which I believe that they will, or a spin-off with something like using Donkey Kong and everything like that though. So it wouldn't surprise me if that's not far behind. But in the meantime, they did show off what apparently is what we could expect from a sort of a Donkey Kong theme at Super Nintendo world and everything like that. So it'll be kind of interesting and everything. We also learned that basically Platinum has showed off a video of everything that they have done in 2023, and he also mentioned Hideki Kamiya basically leaving and everything like that and all. So kind of interesting to see that kind of thing and everything. So that certainly is odd that they kind of mentioned it, but so for what I understand, it wasn't in bad taste or anything like that. We also learned that basically Grasshopper Manufacturers, the folks who make, the games like the No More Heroes series and all, is basically hard to work on basically a new title and everything like that. Excuse me. No word on what that title is right now. We know that they're working on basically Hotel Barcelona. We know that's in the works and everything like that. We know they're doing a remaster or remake, depending on how you want to call it, of Shadows of the Dam. And they did mention that they are bringing it to handheld devices, which could be an indication that they're bringing it to the Nintendo Switch and everything like that. So, but as far as what this new title might be, remains to be seen at this time, though. We also learned that Mr. Sakurai is talking about saying on the future of what he's doing, everything like that, currently we know that he is doing, YouTube videos, but he is claiming that he is still making games and everything like that. So obviously he's doing, this and that and all, but it's nice to hear that he's still working on games and everything like that. What this means in terms of the future of Smash Brothers, well, it'll be interesting to see where they go to after concluding with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and everything like that on the Nintendo Switch and all. It'll be very interesting how the next Smash Brothers game might play out and everything like that. So kind of interesting to see that he's still working and everything like that. We also learned that there are rumors going around that we are expecting, supposedly, that a Banjo-Kazooie game may have been greenlighted at Microsoft. At this time, there's been no official confirmation, and it's unclear whether or not it's been how far along this is going into. Given the fact that a new Banjo-Kazooie game's in the works, most likely it will be on an Xbox system and everything. As far as who could be working on it, at this point, it remains to be seen. It's unlikely Rare is working on it, considering that right now they are currently doing Sea of Thieves and everything, and I think they're doing another game, but I haven't heard much about it. There have been some who believe that Toys for Bot could be a good fit to do a Banjo-Kazooie game, considering they've done, stuff like, the Crash Bandicoot and the Spyro series. So maybe, but we'll have to wait and see if we hear anything from them at all. We also learned that the PS5 exclusive Stellar Braid has been basically delayed into 2024. Originally, it was supposed to come out this year and all, but considering that the year has sort of wind down, it's not surprised to see this one kind of pushed into 2024. As far as how long we'll have to wait for it, though, in 2024, that remains to be seen. It is worth pointing out that we also learned that the Bill and Ted's Excellent Retro Collection, that's sort of a collection of the Bill and Ted video games, is going to be removed from the PS5 and PS4 storefront pretty soon, though. Same with on the Nintendo Switch eShop as well. I think some of this had to do with certain licensing issues and all, and it kind of brings up that whole licensing, the whole licensing issue situation when it comes to, the digital storefront and everything like that. So it is certainly unfortunate, though. Supposedly you could still get basically the physical copy from limited run games, although I don't know if they ran out of those games or not. So yeah, a little bit disappointed, and it kind of brings up the whole digital issues and everything like that. We also learned that Xbox and the creators of Baldur's Gate 3 are still working on the save issue that seems to have been popped up for the Xbox version of Baldur's Gate 3. Now, I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 here and there when I get the chance, though I haven't ran into that issue. I'm playing it on the Xbox Series S, so I don't know how widespread this issue may be, but I'm hoping going into hopefully 2024 they can nip this issue and pretty much address it once and for all. Excuse me. We also learned that apparently Xbox basically sparked some fury when they decided to promote indie games, and they pointed out that this was using AI generated and all. Apparently not everyone was pleased with this, and it prompted Xbox to kind of delete the tweet and so forth. Yes, I'm still calling it tweets and everything like that. So AI has sort of been this odd issue here and there, and there's been some criticism of it, replacing people in the industry and so forth. So it's been a very interesting situation surrounding AI in general. And in movie and TV show parts of the My 2 Cent video, there were basically supposedly posters out there that claimed that basically on Eternals 2 and the Matrix 5. Now, all these turned out to be fake, though, in the end, and it doesn't seem to be any indication that these movies are happening. Although there has been reports about Eternals 2, mostly because there's been reports back and forth that movie may have been greenlighted and everything like that, and it's possible the Eternals could pop up in a future MCU movie and all. As far as Matrix, in terms of this being called Matrix Renegade and all, from what I understand, Keanu Reeves is still interested in doing another Matrix movie, but supposedly the last one, Matrix Revolution, didn't supposedly do as well in the box office, or didn't get the best response out there. So it doesn't sound like WB has any plans for another Matrix movie at this time or anything like that. We also saw some box office numbers that have come in, and supposedly Wonka, it doesn't sound like it did as well, but Aquaman 2, for what I understand, that didn't exactly do as well as either. I mean, I've heard that the film has not gotten the best response from audiences to critics, and box office wise it didn't do as well. I think a lot of that has to do with, now that we know that James Gunn is basically taking over, for DC Cinematic Universe, it seems that they want to move away from the DCEU, and they figure, like, what's the point watching the DCEU when supposedly we got, James Gunn going to do basically a rebooted DC Cinematic Universe. So right now it's unfortunate for Aquaman 2, though, and it will be amazing to see if Jason Momoa will make his way into James Gunn's Cinematic Universe, although there's been some claims that lately he wants to start the clean state and doesn't want to bring people from the DCEU. So we'll see how that plays out. We also learned that Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon on Netflix, though, seemed to have done very well in terms of streaming numbers and everything like that. Despite the fact that the film didn't exactly wow critics or anything, it does seem to have done pretty well for them. It'll be interesting to see how supposedly Part 2 happens, and whether or not people will watch Part 2 or not. And last but not least, though, we have learned that Amazon Prime will be starting to put ads into their, shows and everything like that, starting in sometime around January of in 2024, though. Although there will be an option to pay to get, ad-free and everything like that. It will be very interesting to see how consumers respond to this, whether this will change in terms of access to Amazon Prime, if they want to keep Amazon Prime or not, though. It will be interesting to see how this plays out. I mean, I remember seeing there were claims that people were up in arms over Netflix changing their approach to passwords and everything like that. Side note, their tweet, sharing is caring, probably did not age well, but that so far has not had a negative impact on them. So it's possible this may not have a negative impact on Amazon with Amazon Prime Videos at all. But time will ultimately tell if that does happen or not. Okay, with the quick My Two Cent and the movie and TV part now officially done, we'll get started with our first story. And this one has to do with the possibility of a Mandalorian game and everything like that. Now, if there's one show that I really enjoy on Disney Plus that I have been a fan for a while is The Mandalorian. I've always enjoyed that series and everything like that. It feels kind of, in a way, much like how I think Book of Boba Fett is, excuse me, sort of like a take on a spaghetti western and everything like that. So, and I've always enjoyed, Pedro Pascal's portrayment of the Mandalorian. I thought he did a really good job. I also thought he did a good job as playing Joel in HBO Max, now called Max, The Last of Us and everything like that. But as far as a video game adaptation, though, interestingly enough, we have yet to see an actual video game adaptation of The Mandalorian and anything like that. I guess the only closest thing we got is Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, where you could download, I think, a Lego set that you could basically play as, the Mandalorian and everything like that. So outside of that, that probably is the closest thing at this time and all. Well, recently, rumors have started to pop up that seem to indicate the possibility that a Mandalorian game may be in the works, but it could also be a exclusive for the Xbox system, assuming this information is correct and all. According to several articles, this one comes from, oops, let me click that up. Let me close this out. This one comes from Fandom Wire, and this is what they had to say, though. Quote, according to EXTAS1STV, a popular leaker on Twitter, now known as X, the game seems to be scheduled for a 2024-2025 release. While this tweet is in Spanish, this is what the person had to say, especially supposedly in English and all. It has been said that in the last few hours that id Software is working on a game scheduled to be released in 2024 or 2025 shortly, and the waters of anticipation are choppy. Users who usually have information cannot stop rumors about the possibility that this project is a licensed title, and among the speculations, well-known name resonates Star Wars and Marvel. The leaker further claimed that expectations for the same are further on the rise since previously leaked documents suggest an anonymous title in addition to the already announced Marvel Blade. As some of you are aware with Marvel Blade, that game is being developed by Arcane. I think its name is Arcane Loin. Apologize if I'm not saying the name correctly, but they're the Arcane Studio that worked on Dishonored 1 and 2, and I believe also Deathloop as well. Now, if this is true, if assuming this information is 100% true, that would be very interesting to see how id Software would handle a game like this. Because up to this point, the only thing we've seen from it has been basically Doom and Doom Eternal, to even, I think, Rage and Rage 2, although I think Rage 2 was also handled by Aulx Studios as well. So this would be very interesting if Microsoft can secure the rights for this title and everything like that. We know that they are working on a Blade video game, although it's been speculation that one might be far off. We know that an Indiana Jones game is in the work for Bethesda under Machine Gun Games, the same studio that did the Wolfenstein games, and we know Todd Howard's involved in that, and supposedly he said that we will be hearing about this in next year, like in 2024. So it's certainly not out of the realm of possibility that id Software could technically be working on a Mandalorian video game. Now, how the Mandalorian video game might play, that remains to be seen at this time, though. So it will be very interesting to see if it is a first-person perspective or a third-person perspective and all. So everything is just speculation at this time, but that would be very interesting to see if it turns out to be true that they are doing one based off, a Mandalorian video game. And we've seen these Star Wars games get licensed out to, Nintendo, Sony, and even, Microsoft or like the other studios before. I mean, if you look back during the N64 and GameCube era, we had like the Rogue Squadron games and everything like that. So, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility this could technically be true. And it will be very interesting to see if it is true, if Software is handling it. And if it is handling it, it would be interesting to see how the game looks and plays and feels compared to, some of their past games that they worked on, like Doom and Doom Eternal and so forth and all. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to part 2, and this one has to do with supposedly a hacker claimed to have found a way around issues around switching flash card, and are making a claim this will be out in 2024, so next year, anything like that. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of my 2 cent video, and for this one, we're going to be taking a look at what apparently seems to be a unlicensed, or so you could call it unlicensed Nintendo accessories, or supposedly a hack that someone found for the Nintendo Switch, or at least trying to sell something though. Now, anybody who's owned a Nintendo Switch, that one of the things that they've added to it is the ability to hook up, a micro SD card though. Basically, they can support up to 2 terabytes and everything like that. I currently have a 1 terabyte in my Nintendo Switch and everything like that. And as far as, hacking the system and everything like that, I'm not really shocked to see how the system has been hacked before in the past. Apparently, when it originally when the first hack happened, this prompted Nintendo to make a change to the asking NVIDIA to make a change to the Tegra X1 chip that is powering the Nintendo Switch and everything like that. So Seeing, hackers trying to find to hack these systems is not uncommon. I mean, we've seen it done with the PS5. Even the Xbox Series X and S has been through that kind of situation before. Well, now apparently someone is making a claim that they may have found a way, sort of around Nintendo's this thing around Nintendo Switch that allows you to basically put what potentially is a micro SD card into this thing that you can basically, when you put the Switch cart into the slot. Basically, they may have found a way around this situation, though. Anyway, in an article from TweetTown, it points out that supposedly a Switch flash card may be coming in 2024. They're saying it's a beta test version of a device being used to load up multiple games that have been spotted online, though. Here's part of it is saying, though. Quote, if recent reports are accurate, then big progress has been being made. It appears that the first Switch flash card is here, and it may be ready to release in January 2024. In a Nick Moss 05 stream, a guest from the modding team speculated that the flash card could be running via an exploit, potentially a game card-based exploit that no one currently knows about. It's also possible the flash card requires a mod chip switch in order to function. The clip, which was obtained by Aftertime X, shows an R4-like device fashioned into a Switch game card case with an SD card holding the game slot in the card. Users have to pop the card in and out to change games, and both Super Mario Bros. Wonder and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was launched via the card itself. Users are suspicious about the video, though. The footage originated from a beta test for the flash card, who provide the clip in response to community doubts on an original demo version of the card in action. Even still, the modding scene is skeptical and warns people this could be another hoax and everything like that, though. Now, could this actually be a hoax and everything? I mean, it's possible and everything like that, and I would strongly advise people some caution before they even do something like this and everything like that. Not to mention, if you choose to hack your Switch or mod your Switch in any way, you are damaging your warranty on your system. So I personally wouldn't recommend it, but that's your call at the end of the day. I mean, part of me, if this is true, part of me would think this is actually very impressive. The idea that you could use just just put your SD card in this and then just push it down into your Nintendo Switch and everything like that. Part of me does see this as kind of sort of impressive. But at the same time, knowing this is Nintendo and given Nintendo's history of being extremely protective of their IP, and I mean really extremely protective. I mean, Rockstar is almost very close to it as well, especially when someone tried to leak, put out, GTA 6 leaks before the game was officially announced and everything like that. Nintendo, if this is true, that they're going to try to address this, including possibly getting their lawyers, or what we like to call the Nintendo ninjas, involved to really shut this down big time. So, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Nintendo goes really hard on it really goes after these folks for what is going on and everything like that. I'm not saying I'm not impressed with what I see. I mean, if this is true, but like I said, it doesn't surprise me if Nintendo tries to do what it can to try to shut this down and everything like that. So overall, it is possible this could be a hoax. It is also possible this could be true, which if it is, I will admit I am kind of impressed to see that this person was able to pull it off. But I also acknowledge at the same time, knowing this is Nintendo, knowing how protective they are of their system and their IP, it doesn't surprise me if they make an effort to do whatever means necessary to shut this down and everything like that. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to part 3, and this one has to do with a new Fallout game coming out, but not being done by Bethesda. Instead, this is being done by the modding community. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 3 of my 2 cent video for this week. And for this one, we're going to be taking a look at a game called Fallout London. Now, this is not one being developed by Bethesda at all. This one is actually being developed by the modding community, though. And if there's one thing that Bethesda seems to be okay with, is that they have no problem with other folks, modding their games and everything like that. And we've seen mods pop up here and there that look kind of really, well, let's just say interesting though. I think I remember seeing one where somebody took one of the dragons from Skyrim and turned him into the late WWE wrestler Randy Macho Man Savage. I think we've seen one where someone's taking a sword and turned it into the lightsaber, to changing the moon, maybe I think in one of the Bethesda games, to look like the moon from The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. So I mean, even though I'm not a PC gamer, I do think there are some mods that are, I would say, very clever and everything like that. So this one's kind of interesting to see the idea of doing a mod for, taking Fallout 4 and turning it into a very interesting mod. This time taking place in London, England, in a way, though. In an article from basically Pure Xbox, it reads that, quote, "If you haven't heard the latter, it's a project that has been worked on for many years at this point and is shaping up to be one of the best mods in Bethesda's history. Fallout London acts as a continuation of Fallout 4 on PC, allowing you to visit previously unexplored post-apocalyptic environments of London and all." As they point out with the video that they're shown in this article, though, Fallout London has been a huge undertaking featuring over 50 main quests and over 200 quests and over 90,000 lines of recorded dialogue and a whole bunch of new features, including a revamped crafting system, overhauled perks and dialogue system, dynamic weather, and so much more. The sad part is that Fallout London isn't going to be available on Xbox, at least not anytime soon, so you'll need access to Fallout 4 on PC in order to play this game on April 23rd, 2024. If you do have access to a good enough PC for it, though, it sounds like you're in for a absolute treat when this game launches for free just in a few months time, though. So it is, to me, it's a little bit unfortunate, though, but it is what it is. Although it will be interesting to see when the Fallout 4 Xbox Series X and S update comes to that. It will be kind of interesting to see if someone tries to, I think, use Bethesda's own character creations system, if they decide to use that, to try to create Fallout London or something like that. So it is unfortunate that this is a mod and everything like that, because to a certain degree, I think it's sort of a neat idea for like a Fallout game to take place in another area outside of the United States. I mean, why not have a Fallout game take place maybe like in Canada or in someplace in England or Scotland or Ireland or, Portugal, Spain, France, Italy or Romania, or even someplace, in Africa or Japan, or, in Israel, or in like the Middle East, like United Arab Emirates or anything like that. So I think there is so much potential for the idea of having a Fallout game take place outside of the United States and everything like that. And when I see something like this, it does make me kind of wish Bethesda would make that kind of a Fallout game, maybe closer to the style of what like New Vegas was and all, which is till this day remains, for a lot of Fallout fans, one of the best Fallout games out there and everything like that, though, made by Obsidian and all, which are currently working on Evolve, if I'm saying the name correctly, though, and of course the Outer Worlds 2 and everything like that. So when I see something like this, it does make me kind of wish Bethesda would make this kind of stuff, though. It is a little bit unfortunate that we're not going to see it come to the Xbox systems at this time and all, but hearing about a game known as The Forgotten City, which was also a mod on Skyrim, somehow make its way over to consoles to a certain degree, it does give me some hope that maybe at some point down the line there is a possibility something like this could make its way over to the Xbox systems. But for now, it seems that the only way you're going to be able to play this is going to be on your PC, depending on how you have your PC set up and depending on if your PC is able to run a game like this and all. So overall, I will say this is an impressive mod, though. I definitely like the idea that they're doing a Fallout game set in London. And like I said, it kind of does make me kind of wish that Bethesda would make a Fallout game set in a different area or a different city other than, you know, the United States in general and all. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get to our fourth and final part. And this one has to do with reports coming out that Starfield is basically getting mostly negative to mixed reviews on Steam. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with our fourth and final part of our My Two Cent video, and for this one, we're going to be taking a look at Starfield, particularly what seems to be what's going on, at least for those who are going on the Steam page and everything like that. Now, Starfield finally came out back in September and everything like that, and depending on your perspective, though, there are those who are going to like the game and those who are going to hate it, though. I'm hoping to do a review of the game soon and everything like that. I still have to have time to play it. I usually try to play it on Sunday, aka Starfield Sunday for me, though. And I do understand that it is a Bethesda RPG, and those kind of games, depending on your perspective, either you're going to like those type of games or you're going to hate it, though. So it really just comes down to your preference and taste, and I do think your mileage will vary and everything like that, though. And while I do not view Starfield having the same kind of success as, say, Baldur's Gate 3, which I don't deny that game really blew up in 2023 and everything like that, it does seem to indicate that Starfield still did very well for Bethesda and Microsoft, just not on the same scale as, say, what Baldur's Gate 3 was. But in either case, though, it seems that not everybody is particularly pleased with this game. Some folks just don't seem to like it at all. And this all stems from what seems to be popping up on the Steam charts or the Steam reviews and everything like that. And there have been several articles about it, though. But if you go over to the current Steam charts right now, they currently have the game in terms of recent reviews. They have it at basically at mostly negative with 7,481 folks as of the recording of this video, while all reviews currently have it at basically mixed with 87,964, although according to Steam they're saying 65% of those user reviews for this game are positive, and they're saying that the user reviews in the last 30 days are positive, at least 28%. Now, I'm not a PC gamer. I don't have a PC or anything like that. I'm basing my timer off the game playing it on the Xbox Series S and S. Now, some folks might make an argument and start making a claim that, oh, these are people that are trolls or review bombing this game or something like that, or it's hating on Starfield and all that. And while I do agree to some extent that it is possible some people are doing trolling or just basically putting out biased reviews or everything like that, it's one of the reasons why I'm somewhat cautious when it comes to user reviews. But that doesn't mean I'm going to outright ignore user reviews entirely, though. And while I do think some people might be trolling or putting out biased reviews or just hating on Starfield, I don't think everyone is doing that, especially for those who are making Steam, who are reviewing the game on Steam or any other site where they have user reviews or anything like that. I do think that it is possible that the game did not live up to the expectations that some folks were expecting from Starfield when that came out back in September and everything like that. Now, do I think it met my expectations? To a certain degree, yes. They were kind of advertising this as Skyrim in space, and I think they kind of delivered on what they promised on that. It's basically Skyrim in space, though. But I do think for some, there have been some that wanted more out of a Starfield and everything like that, though. And there are certainly some questionable decisions, like not having a city map or anything like that, although supposedly that'll be coming up in a update and everything and all. So I mean, I can understand why some people are kind of disappointed with Starfield, but I can understand why some folks are, okay with what the game turned out to be, though. So, to me, I think, I don't think all the user reviews are necessarily bad. I can understand why not everybody is liking Starfield and everything like that. And to me, it goes back to how I view this game, though. It's that it is a Bethesda RPG, and your mileage will vary. Some folks may not like what they see. Some folks may have raised their expectations too high, but then there are those who are, happy with what Bethesda delivered with Starfield in general, though. Again, I'm not hating on those who are basically giving negative reviews or anything to this game and all. I mean, yeah, I can understand some might be trolling, some might be putting a biased review out, but I don't think everyone is doing that are giving user reviews on Steam, okay? I think there are those who just generally are just disappointed with what they saw and everything like that. So I don't think it's, to me personally, I don't think it's a huge deal and all. I think it just really comes down to what your preference and taste with Starfield is in general. So overall, you could look at these user reviews on Starfield in either way. One could argue that it is being biased and just trolling or hating on it. The other, it can be looking at as, look, there's just some people that are just disappointed with what Bethesda delivered with Starfield. So to me, I kind of view it as that there's two sides of the coin on this issue and all. Okay, this concludes this My 2 Cent video for this week. And again, these are my opinion. What are yours? What are your thoughts about the possibility of a Mandalorian game being developed by id Software and possibly being Xbox exclusive? Do you think this rumor is true? Do you think id Software is working on a Mandalorian game? And do you like the idea of them doing a Mandalorian game? And do you think this could be an Xbox exclusive in any way? What are your thoughts about this so-called hack, in terms of playing, using the micro SD cards and put it in like a flash card to play on your Nintendo Switch? Do you think this is kind of impressive? Do you think this is a hoax? Do you think it's real? Do you think Nintendo is going to get their lawyers involved and really go after these folks? Do you think that is possible in any way? What are your thoughts about this Fallout London mod, though? Do you think this mod is impressive? Are you going to be playing it when it comes out on April 24th, though? Do you wish to see this come to the Xbox systems in any way, or the consoles in general? And do you think this opens up the idea that maybe Bethesda should start doing new settings for Fallout outside of the United States and all? And what are your thoughts about these user reviews for Starfield, particularly on Steam, where it's been mostly mixed to mostly negative, though? Do you think some people are taking these user reviews maybe way too seriously? Do you think they have a valid point? Do you think a lot of these are just trolling or just people being biased or jumping on supposedly the hate train for Starfield? Or do you think these are just people like, it just did not live up to the expectation they were hoping for, or were kind of just hoping for Bethesda to give them something new and everything? Do you agree with what I said in this video? Do you disagree with what I said in this video? Do you have a different opinion to say about it? As always, sound off on the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And if you do like this video, I hope you hit the like button. I would appreciate it. And I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you do, make sure you hit the bell icon for notifications of any new videos I put up. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to, and feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You could do it through PayPal me, Patreon, or Steam Labs. Links will be in the description of this video, assuming you're watching this on YouTube. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that will be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day. I also wish you all a happy new year, and I hope to see you in 2024 and all. Bye.